All from an Addams family that had something fall into the back box and short the entire system out. Two DMD controllers, both with similar repairs. The soundboard, and you can see what I did to it there. The Type 1 Fliptronics board, the MPU board, and the driver board. So I can test all of this all at the same time on my bench. So let's boot it up. The message there is because we don't have any optos attached at the switch positions that Addams family thinks there should be some. And again, more opto errors. Not a problem. Start with switch testing the MPU, and I've got Victor's test board. I'll go across the diagonal of the switch matrix. And that shows all of those working. Here's the coin door switches. Whoops. Press the back switch inadvertently. Here's the other coin door switches. Flipper cabinet buttons. So at the same time we're showing that the Fliptronics board is working. Solenoid test. Get it running so it does all of the solenoids. I'll have to get the full story from the owner of these boards, but this was a completely working board set, and then some disaster struck it. So those are all the coils. The GI test. Taking on a board set that's had this kind of destruction is always a bit dicey. All right. There are a lot of sounds in Addams family. I recapped this soundboard, and this pre-DCS soundboard is going to sound as good as it ever could have. It needed a new ROM chip, and the RAM was fried on it also. All in all, 0 6264 RAM chips survived.
Feel the power. Showtime! 50 million! Triple jackpot! It has to warm up, so it can kill you! Why, thank you, Bing. Greed. You're a funny guy. Look, darling, just what we've been searching for.
To test this Fliptronics 1 board on this bench, I had to split my connections to my switch tester, the flipper cabinet, and end of stroke switches. And then I had to give this thing 50 volts. So I provided it 50 volts for the flipper power. I had to give the flippers 50 volts via the normal connector that powers them on Addams family. So now, I mean, it took me a while, but I could at least test Fliptronics 1 boards, and I could always test Fliptronics 2 boards. So I don't get that many Fliptronics 1 boards in because you can replace a Fliptronics 1 board with a Fliptronics 2 board. And here's the lamps and the flashers all operating. We'll run display test. I'm going to advance it quickly. I'm just going to hold down the increment button to make it advance rapidly. We're looking for RAM test okay. Looks good. We already tested the flipper coils. That is it. That is all I can test here. The voltages on this board now are 4.95 for the 5 volts, 11.8 for the regulated 12, 14.7 for the unregulated 12, and then flasher and coil power, which is listed at 50 volts in the manuals, but it's always 70 volts or so on a WPC driver board. So the driver board, I replaced C5, C4, C2, all the headers, and somebody else had replaced this GI header. I hate that kind of header, but I left it on there because there's no reason to put parts on that are perfectly functioning parts. So it's good to go. Thank you so much. I'm sure you're going to rest much better once you get this board set back. It's frustrating when an accident like that happens and causes so much damage. Thanks for sending the set.